On this episode of the Atlas Life, we welcome back Mr. Jake Brower
It's good to be here.
introduce Christina Powell.
Christina Powell.
Christina Powell goes way back. You're not her first recruiter.
That's what I hear.
Yes.
But I am her best recruiter.
That is absolutely
also
true.
heard that, so.
That is, I can absolutely vouch for that. So Christina started with Mr. Kurt Chase.
That's right.
Way back, gosh, man, 3 years ago maybe. And then Kurt's our director of recruiters now, and so Jake took over.
I remember when you walked over to my desk, I was literally like 3 weeks into this job. Brand new, wet behind the ears.
Yes.
And you took a picture of me and you said, "I'll be right back." And you posted it on Instagram and tagged Christina and said, "Meet your new recruiter."
Yes.
The rest is history at this point.
Christina she came to us through Facebook, one of our very first Facebook nurses that needed some help, and we were there to help her, and actually Kurt was there to help her. There you go. And then, so that's why I did the way I did. She holds a special place here. So
one thing I know for sure is that today you are all in for a special treat, because this one, she's one of the good ones.
That's right. All right, Jake, thank you so much. Thank you for keeping her with us. I know that Jake has a lot going on, but
always have enough time for Christina, so
always.
We're good to go.
There we go. All right, Christina Powell, welcome to the Atlas Life. All right, Christina Powell is with us today. I have looked forward to this for some time, my friend. We have known each other, by having conversations now over Facebook and text message for, 2 years, probably?
Yeah.
And I can't...
Coming up on 3. Coming up on 3.
You're probably right. It probably has been 3 years. And I don't even remember how it was through Facebook, how you came to us, but I don't remember the circumstances, though.
I honestly, I don't either. I remember someone recommended Atlas and had tagged you in a post, and I was like, well, hey, I'd love to work with Atlas, and I thought you were a recruiter, and you were like, well, hey, let me set you up with someone.
Yeah, and that was, so just like a few minutes ago, we recorded Jake Brower is your recruiter. We recorded
Correct.
A little introduction with him and stuff, and we touched on that, how you were with Kurt first.
Yeah. Kurt was my very first recruiter that I've ever had in travel nursing, and made it such a seamless process, going from staff nurse to travel nurse. And Kurt is still very near and dear to my heart. And I know Kurt trained Jake, and so it was like the perfect transition for me.
It worked. It absolutely worked. So, and I'm so glad you weren't with us for a while, but now you're back with us again. Tell us where you are, what's happening.
So I'm currently finishing up an assignment in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and getting ready to start our Atlas assignment in Reno, Nevada, and I'm so excited. I know that they're getting ready to do an Atlas nurses meet and greet in Reno, and I'm so excited for that. Jake's coming out, and I already told Jake that he is way better than Kurt could ever be, because Jake is already coming out to meet me, already has it planned, and I've known Kurt for how long, and he hasn't established a meeting yet, so shame on Kurt.
Exactly. So and you're not alone now, right?
No, so I travel with a partner now. I started my very first assignment with Kurt, and what was funny is I told Kurt, I was like, I don't want to meet anybody. I just want to do this travel nursing thing and just kind of focus on this. And he was like, yeah, absolutely. And then I met someone, and I was like, Kurt, it's all your fault. And so now I travel with a partner who is also a travel nurse, and he will be starting with me in Reno as well.
That is awesome. That is fantastic. And I know, according to Jake, it wasn't easy. It took a little bit to get this assignment, right? I mean, there were a ton of submittals.
Yeah.
And it was an 11-hour thing.
I mean, and it's just the nature of the game, working in the ER as a traveler. It's feast or famine. And so the big thing was, finding an ER gig was not hard necessarily, but it was hard to find two at the same facility. And that's something that we were really striving for, just because it made it a lot easier for us as far as scheduling and days off together and things like that. So that was something we were really kind of hoping for. And, Jake was submitting us to a ton of places. We had a couple other recruiters that were looking for us, and there just seemed like there was nothing coming up. And I'm so thankful to Jake for, every day he was like, hey, I have these 3 needs at this hospital. I have needs at this hospital. I have multiple needs here. And he was just on top of the ball. And that's really what you look for in a recruiter, in travel nursing. It really is. It's feast or famine. And it's the first one on the table a lot of times. And so having a recruiter who's on top of things and making sure that they submit you first in that pack of nurses to be submitted to a job is huge.
Huge. Yeah. And I love that Jake stayed on top of it every day, because I know one of the common complaints, not with us, well, sometimes with us, right? I mean, or it just out there is my recruiter doesn't communicate with me. But if Jake is on it every single day, this is what I have, this is what I don't have. Sometimes it's bad news, right? I mean, it isn't always sunshine and rainbows, right? I mean,
yeah. I mean, and that's definitely been the tough thing, is because even before we started this assignment here in New Mexico, we had a ton of recruiters trying to find us something. And again, finding multiple ER needs can be difficult. And especially as flooded as the ER travel nurse market has become, it can be very, very difficult to find anyone with one need, much less to find someone with multiple needs. And so that's been a big challenge that I didn't have before. And I'm thankful that I have recruiters who are willing to work with me on that.
Yeah. Well, I think the moral of that is just, the moral of that whole story is just patience, right? It's there. Just be patient.
Yeah. And I mean, and then you're also looking at, I want to have a good take home amount, a good, gross amount. And so there's still a lot of factors. It's not just take what comes up. So having a recruiter who understands that you still have a certain take home number that you need in order to make this whole travel thing work, is really, really helpful. And, don't submit me for something where I'm going to make less than I did when I was staff and I can't afford my dual houses, living expenses. Just be on top of things and be mindful of that. Know your nurses is huge for me. I work with Jake and about 2 other recruiters just because I haven't found recruiters that will be on top of things, and Atlas doesn't have every job out there, but it doesn't mean that they're not willing to try to get it for you. Before we took this assignment, Jake was like, you know what? I don't have anything for you right now. Unfortunately, I don't have 2 ER needs. He's like, you found something great. I'm happy for you. Take that assignment and we will go gung ho when you guys are getting ready to look for your next assignment. And that's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
And it is what's on the market. You can't find things if it's not there.
Exactly. Yeah. So take me back to the beginning, because I don't know if I've ever heard this story. Like, when did you start? How'd your nursing career start? And then when did you decide I'm going to travel?
So I actually started as a new grad in 2013 at Duke University Hospital. And that was probably one of the most pivotal moments for me, because it really encouraged me to learn and grow as a nurse and to always strive to learn more and to be the best nurse that I could be. And I started there, was there for about 1.5 years, and then went home to Florida. And while in Florida, I just realized I had gone to the ER at that point. I wasn't in the ER at Duke. And when I was in the ER in Florida, I just realized that, something about this staff thing and going to meetings where it was the same thing over and over. We know that our staff wants to talk about this, but we're not going to be able to talk about that. We can't do anything about it. And I'm like, then why am I coming to this mandatory meeting every week on my day off?
Right.
It just became so monotonous and so annoying to go to work meetings. And honestly, that was one of the biggest factors for me to break into travel. And I had, a couple doctors and a couple travel nurses actually that were working with me and said, you know what, you should try travel. See if that kind of alleviates some of your feelings of frustration. Because I was definitely feeling like I was hitting that point of near burnout. Just because of being a staff nurse and not being able to just come in and be a nurse. I went to nursing school not to go to meetings. I went to nursing school solely to take care of patients. And especially in emergency nursing, that the high rates of burnout are so real, and the struggle is something that I have dealt with many, many times, even as a traveler. But, as they say, you can do anything for 13 weeks. And so I find that, the minute that I start to get frustrated with the way that something is at a certain facility, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to extend. It's time to pick up and cut my losses and move on.
Yeah. Well, that's you have that prerogative as a traveler, right? Find that next one and move on.
Right.
Yeah. So tell me, that sounds like the best part, right? Is having that freedom. Give me the worst part. Like, what's the worst part about picking up and moving on?
You leave behind a lot of good friends, especially here in Albuquerque. We have made some of the most lifelong friends. Actually, there's a traveler that was here, and he has now gone to Florida and is actually crashing at my place while he does an assignment there. And I tell him all the time, I'm like, you're like a brother from another mother. You're my family now. Like, I don't care where you are in this country, you are family. And he's another one I'm trying to get to go to Atlas. I think he's going to Atlas for his next contract.
All right.
One at a time, just, drinking the Kool-Aid.
That's right. I love it. Right behind us, right there. Did I send you a shirt? I don't think I did. I don't think we ran out right after.
No, you didn't. I didn't get a shirt. I'm really disappointed.
I'll make it up to you.
So disappointing. I came up with that. I had a whole meme and everything. I made the meme and everything. It was great. I was like, everyone should drink the Kool-Aid.
I think that's honestly where it came from. Like, I think you were one of the originators for that, because it was some kind of thread on Facebook or something that went south on us, and we turned a negative into a positive, and there you go.
Yeah, it was drink the Kool-Aid, and then there was the Kermit one where it was everybody's complaining that they can't get a hold of their recruiter, but that's none of my business, though.
Yes. Were you responsible for the Pennywise one too? There was the one where it was the kid going down the sewer drain.
I was not responsible for that one. That one, because I don't do clowns.
No. I liked that one a lot too. That was. I wish I had saved that. I'll find it at some point. Yeah,
I only did the Kermit one and the Kool-Aid one. That's all I'm taking credit for.
Awesome. Well, it stuck, so there you go.
Good. I see that you have a Kool-Aid man behind you now, so
right.
I did a good thing.
There's such a funny story behind that. I will tell you where we got that. It was all absolutely legitimate, but I will tell you about that when we're not recording an interview sometime. So
fair enough.
There you go. So tell me, as you down in Albuquerque, going up to Reno, you've been in Florida. Give me some good food that you've eaten along the way, because that's one of the things I love to do when I'm out. Tell me about some good food you've had.
So for me, I love Waco Taco in Longwood, Florida.
Writing this down. Waco Taco?
WAKO. Waco Taco. And you'll love this because they're right next door to a brewery, so you can go sit at the brewery and they'll bring your tacos over. So that's right up your alley.
What is the address? I will go there now.
It's in Longwood, Florida. Feel free to crash at my place while you go check out tacos.
All right, there you go.
There you go. See? Here in Albuquerque, we found this little hole-in-the-wall place called Tia Betty Blues, and it was absolutely phenomenal. We have been there at least 8 times, if not more, during our contract. And we just went to a place this week called Tia B's La Waffleria, which I guess is a similar restaurant because all they do is waffles. And honestly, they make blue corn waffles. They do a tortilla burger. I mean, just everything is like home cooking because it's all like recipes from their families and stuff. And that's honestly probably my like top 3 right now would be those. What else do you think of? Guava Tree Cafe was another good one here in Albuquerque. And Golden Crown Panderia was another good one here in Albuquerque.
Really?
Albuquerque has such a good food scene, and I had no idea. I would never have thought that about Albuquerque. But it's absolutely delicious. Green chili on everything, and I'm okay with that.
So that's coming up, right? There's that. Here's some. No, this is legit. They brought this back when they were down in New Mexico doing site visits. They brought this back. Like, this is legit green chili. And then, I don't know, this is the hash green chili salsa, I guess they brought back.
Yeah.
The roadside stand had this stuff. So
wow.
We are going to film an episode of Atlas Eats coming up here soon where we eat all of this, and I can't wait.
Oh, my goodness. That sounds amazing.
Yeah. I've heard about the food down there. I would never have thought, but everybody I talk to down there says the food is fantastic.
Yeah, and it's funny because, like, the locals will tell you about, like, the biggest chains and stuff, and I'm like, I don't want to go to Texas Roadhouse. Tell me where, like, the roadside tacos are.
Yep.
Yes. Tell me where it looks sketchy, like I might get food poisoning or I might have the most amazing time eating these tacos. 50-50 shot, and I'm okay with that risk.
Look, you're an ER nurse already, and you travel with an ER nurse. You are totally fine.
Exactly. We'll be fine. We'll figure it out.
All right, last question, and I'm sad this is coming to an end. Last question. Through all of this, through everything that you've been through, nursing career, traveling, everything else, what has taken you the longest to learn?
Oh goodness. Probably the tax laws of travel nursing.
That's the first time somebody's mentioned that.
I feel like I'm still learning, and I feel like I'm probably screwing something up, and Joseph Smith probably needs to rescue my taxes. But, I try to do everything by the book. I go through the travel tax site and try to keep as up to date as I can on the tax laws, but the IRS scares me, like a lot.
Yeah.
I feel like I could save your life, but if you were an IRS person, I'd be like, oh my goodness, are you gonna audit me if I save you?
Right, exactly. Yeah. Just don't tell them you're a travel nurse. How's that? Just don't tell them that. We lost the audio for a
Sorry, I was getting a phone call.
Oh, okay. We lost the audio for a second, so now we're back.
But yeah, I think the tax laws has been probably one of the hardest things. Everywhere nursing is nursing, no matter where you go. I went through a great program at the University of Central Florida, so I know how to take care of patients. I know how to deliver safe, competent care, and it's the same everywhere you go. But finding where stuff is, or finding who's nice enough to help you on your first couple weeks there, you always find that out. You always know who the genuine people are and who is excited to have you there. But for me, the tax laws, because I feel like there's always something I'm missing. Other than that, I'm like, I can figure it out. I can wing it. My eyeliner, life, everything. I can just wing it.
I think you'll probably be okay. I know at least on our end, we have, in fact, there's an audit going on right now just to make sure that everything is legit on our side, right? So I have full confidence in everything that they do. So I know at least from us, you should be okay. You will be okay.
Fingers crossed.
There we go. Christina, thank you so much. I really appreciate you being on with us today, and that we finally got to talk face-to-face after all these years.
I know. It's so nice. You seem like a nice person.
Well, thank you. You seem very nice as well. Not that we haven't had all these conversations before, obviously, but.
Yeah, for sure.
So good luck out there. Have fun in Reno. We have a ton of people up there, so I know you'll make new friends.
I'm so excited. I can't wait to meet Jake finally.
Awesome. All right. Well, we'll see you out there on the road.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.